Got Mizzou and Oklahoma on Saturday. Sooners are 7.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 42.5. As the week goes on, I'm actually really kind of starting to like Missouri in this game. There's some rumblings out there that Bo Prabula might be back for Mizzou in this game at quarterback. But really, I think Oklahoma, they're an easy handicap, and also they're a difficult handicap in the sense that their games, every game that they play in, is all about turnovers. And we talked about it with the Bama game and the Tennessee game. They forced 3 turnovers in both of those games. They had a defensive touchdown in both of those games, and they pull off the upset in both of those matchups. Earlier in the year, though, against Michigan and Auburn, when they played those games at home or when they lost to Ole Miss at home, they didn't force turnovers in those games. Their defense wasn't getting off the field on third down and those kinds of things. So I think that's going to be the key to the game, really. Can Missouri protect the football? And if they can, I think they can hang around and keep it close. Also, Oklahoma off that big win against Bama. How are they going to handle that success? So Missouri plus 7.5. I like that against OU. Number 20, Louisville taking on SMU. Mustangs a 3-point favorite. Total in the game, 52.5. SMU has a chance to get right back to the ACC championship game. This is really a good spot for them. They're coming off a bye week. Louisville off 2 back-to-back really tough losses against Clemson and Cal. But if you know anything about college football and Jeff Brom, man, he gets his teams to play up to these kind of games. He's normally very good. As an underdog, he's very good against good teams. And SMU, even though they have a good record, they're a team that, again, regression should be coming. Their analytics aren't that great. I'm probably going to stay away from this game. I think it could be a good game to bet live. Number 17, USC taking on number 8, Oregon. The Ducks are a 9.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 59.5. Now, you guys that watch the show, you know if usually we get 2 ranked teams like this and the spread is this high, I'm normally taking the favorite at minus 9.5. I'm hoping we get a 10 with USC, though, because I like the Trojans in the game actually at plus 10. This line is kind of the same at what the Notre Dame and USC game was priced at, and I don't think Notre Dame and Oregon are even teams. I think the Irish are much better. Oregon, as we know, really their only signature win this season was on the road against Iowa. They got stomped at home by Indiana, got dominated by them for the most part in that game. Yes, Lincoln Riley has struggled as USC's head coach on the road, but more so in the Central Time Zone and Eastern Time Zone. When he plays these traditional Pac-12 games, he tends to be pretty decent. So USC, who normally plays well on the road in Eugene, I think can keep that close. So I like the Trojans plus the points. Arkansas taking on Texas. Longhorns were a 10-point favorite. They're down to an 8.5-point favorite now at some spots. Total in the game is 57.5. People are betting Arkansas. This is a funky spread. The fact that Texas is a 10-point favorite at home tells me if this game was in Fayetteville, they'd be like a 3.5-point favorite or something like that. Arkansas's defense is really, really bad, and this should be a defense that Arch Manning in Texas should make some plays against. On the flip side, Arkansas's offense is terrific, but Texas has a really good defense. Feels like Texas is a great money line parlay piece this week at minus 350. You parlay them with some other games on the board. I think they win the game, but I don't know if I want to lay 10 with them against Arkansas. Kentucky and Vandy talked about this game yesterday. I like the under, 53.5. I think this is too many points. Kentucky and Vandy, they're kind of mirror images of each other. They both want to run the football. They really don't have too many explosive playmakers on the outside. They're very well coached. Kentucky played Auburn this year, and that was a 10-3 type game. I see this matchup kind of being like that. The Missouri-Vandy game was 17-10. Like, I think these two teams are very similar to kind of what we could see. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a really low-scoring game. I like under 53.5. Georgia Tech and Pitt, as we were just talking about with Chad. Yellow Jackets, a 2.5-point favorite. Total in the game is 62.5. As Chad mentioned, Georgia Tech has not lost a game at home in 2 years. They're really good at home. This feels like such a good live betting game, right? Because the total is 62.5, so you should get a bunch of points. At one point in the game, there should be one of the teams is leading by double digits, and then I would just bet the other side in the game. So that's what I'm going to do, hold off and wait to bet the game live. Number 23, Tennessee, taking on Florida in the Swamp. The Vols have struggled the last 50 years in Florida. They cannot figure out how to win in the Swamp. So I definitely wouldn't lay it with Tennessee. It would only be Florida or pass in the game because the Vols never play well in Gainesville. And then number 12, BYU, taking on number 25, Cincinnati. BYU, a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Total is 54.5. Cincinnati's got a great record. They're ranked. They really haven't beaten anybody this year. BYU, probably going to be the best team that they play other than Utah. Utah smashed Cincinnati. I think BYU is going to take care of business as well. So I like the Cougars minus 2.5 in that game against Cincy.